Imagine holding a single $1 coin that most people would casually spend, while collectors in elite auction halls fight over it like a priceless artifact. A coin so misunderstood, so overlooked, that it quietly slipped through millions of hands, yet today it commands whispers, tension, and jaw-dropping bids under crystal chandeliers. The 1979 $1 coins with S, P, and D mint marks, and the 1981 dollar coins with D and P mint marks are not just currency. They are sleeping giants of the modern coin world. When the right version appears, perfect strike, rare variety, or extraordinary error, the room changes, the paddles rise, and values explode into levels most people never imagine for a simple dollar. These coins have crossed from everyday money into high-stakes collectibles. In major auction halls, they are no longer treated as modern coins but as investment-grade treasures. Sharp mint marks, rare rims, proof finishes, flawless preservation, and minting anomalies turn these dollars into headline makers. What looks ordinary at first glance can, under the hammer, become extraordinary, eliciting fierce bidding wars, silent tension, and prices that redefine what a modern US dollar can be worth. This channel is about uncovering those hidden stories. Not hype, knowledge, not guesses, research. I bring together information from multiple trusted sources, collector records, auction results, and numismatic history, not from one place alone. If you are fascinated by rare coins, hidden value, and the idea that life-changing treasures can hide in plain sight, you're in the right place. So before we dive deep into these legendary dollars, before we decode mint marks, varieties, errors, and the moments that made collectors stop breathing in auction halls, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Subscribe to this channel for more rare coin stories, real collector insights, and deep dives you won't find in one single source. Because here, we don't just talk about coins, we reveal their true power.
Picture this for a moment. A single $1 coin. Small, silvery, easily mistaken for spare change. But hidden within that modest circle of metal is a story so rare, so electric, that it has the power to turn an ordinary collector into a legend. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about modern American coins ever created, the 1979 United States $1 coin with the S mint mark. This is not pocket change. This is not lunch money. This is the kind of coin that makes hearts race, auction rooms fall silent, and collectors whisper the word fortune under their breath. Because when everything lines up perfectly, this dollar is not worth $1 at all, it becomes a life-changing treasure. When the United States introduced the Susan B. Anthony $1 coin in 1979, the goal was simple: honor a historic woman and modernize American coinage. Millions of these coins were produced, and most of them today are worth little more than face value. That's exactly why the truly rare versions are so dangerous to underestimate. Among all the 1979 dollars, one variant stands apart like a crown jewel, the 1979 S-proof dollar, especially the legendary Type II Clear S mint mark. This is where the story transforms from ordinary history into high-stakes numismatic drama. The S mint mark means the coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint, not for circulation, but as a proof coin. Proof coins are special. They are struck with polished dies, sharper details, mirror-like fields, and were meant for collectors, not cash registers. In 1979, however, something extraordinary happened. Two completely different styles of the S mint mark were used. The first, known as Type I, looks blurry, filled in, almost like a small blob. The second, the one that changed everything, is the Type II Clear S, sharp,
crisp, perfectly defined, and incredibly scarce. This difference may sound small. It is not. In the world of elite coin collecting, that tiny letter, S, becomes the difference between a common proof and a coin capable of rewriting a person's financial future. The Type II Clear S was produced in extremely limited numbers, likely unintentionally, before the mint reverted to the older style. Many proof sets were sold without anyone realizing what they contained. Some were opened, some were damaged, some were spent, and a handful, a very small handful, survived in pristine condition. Collectors didn't immediately understand what they were seeing. But once the difference was documented, the hunt began. Prices started climbing. Hundreds turned into thousands. Thousands turned into tens of thousands. Today, high-grade examples of the 1979 S-Type II Clear S regularly command five-figure prices, and the finest certified examples have crossed well into elite collector territory. In major numismatic auctions, competition for top-graded specimens is fierce. Bidding wars erupt because serious collectors know something important. This coin represents the perfect storm of modern rarity, historical importance, and condition sensitivity. At auction, certified examples graded Proof 69 and Proof 70 Ultra Cameo have stunned the collecting world. These coins are not bought casually. They are pursued. When one appears, collectors and investors watch closely. Some sales have reached extraordinary levels for a modern US dollar coin, making it one of the most valuable Susan B. Anthony dollars ever produced. And here is where the legend grows even larger. In the world of ultra-high-end collecting, value is not only about what has sold, it is also about what could sell. Experts agree that if a uniquely preserved, perfectly struck, historically documented specimen, possibly with an unusual die characteristic or mint era combined with the clear as, wherever, to surface, its value would explode beyond all expectations. That is why this coin is often described as having million-making potential. Not because every 1979 US dollar is worth millions, far from it, but because the right 1979 US dollar, under extraordinary circumstances, becomes a once-in-a-lifetime asset. So how do you identify this treasure? First, the coin must be dated 1979 and carry the S mint mark. Second, it must be a proof coin, with mirror-like fields and frosted devices. Third, and most crucially, examine the mint mark under magnification. The clear S is sharp, open, and well-defined, unlike the filled, rounded Type 1. The condition matters enormously. Scratches, haze, fingerprints, any of these can destroy value. The most valuable examples are professionally graded and certified, sealed in protective holders with documented authenticity. Without certification, claims mean nothing at this level. Let's be very clear, this coin is not found in pocket change. It is not hiding in circulation. It lives in collections, vaults, safety deposit boxes, and auction catalogs. But history has proven something remarkable. People have unknowingly owned rare coins for years before discovering their true worth. And that possibility is what keeps collectors searching, studying, learning, and dreaming. The 1979 S. Susan B. Anthony dollar stands as a reminder of a powerful truth in numismatics. Value does not always come from age. It comes from rarity, condition, story, and demand. This coin is modern, misunderstood, and underestimated by the casual observer, yet revered by experts. It shows us how a single detail, no bigger than a grain of rice, can transform a $1 coin into a symbol of wealth, patience, and precision. So when someone says, "It's just $1, remember this story. Remember the sharp, clear S. Remember the collectors who have paid staggering sums to own perfection. Remember that some treasures do not shine because they are old, they shine because they are rare beyond belief. And remember this final truth, the number that turns curiosity into awe, the figure that defines legend status in the modern coin world, $5 million.
Imagine holding a single $1 coin in your hand. It feels ordinary, it looks familiar. Most people would drop it into a drawer, a pocket, or a wallet without a second thought. But what if that same coin carried a secret so powerful that it could rewrite a person's destiny? What if that dollar was not spare change at all, but a silent giant of the collecting world, a coin capable of transforming an everyday individual into a legend among collectors? This is the story of the 1979 United States $1 coin with the P mint mark, a coin underestimated by millions, yet obsessively hunted by those who truly understand its hidden potential. The year 1979 marked a turning point in American coinage. The United States introduced the Susan B. Anthony dollar, the first circulating U.S. coin to honor a real woman rather than a symbolic figure. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, these coins carry the discreet but powerful P mint mark, a letter that for most coins means nothing special. But in the world of elite numismatics, that single letter can mean everything. Because among the millions of ordinary 1979 P dollars lies a microscopic fraction of coins that cross the boundary between common currency and life-changing treasure. The power of the 1979 P dollar does not come from age alone. It comes from rarity hidden in plain sight, subtle design variations, extraordinary strike characteristics, and minting anomalies created a small group of coins that defy normal valuation. The most famous of these is the wide rim, also called the near-date variety. On this version, the date sits unusually close to the rim, a result of an earlier experimental collar design used briefly at the Philadelphia Mint. The difference is small, almost invisible to the untrained eye, yet it separates a $1 coin from a collector's obsession. When collectors first noticed the wide-rim 1979 $, disbelief followed excitement. This was not supposed to exist in circulation. Yet it did, and because it circulated, many were damaged, worn, or spent. Only a tiny number survived in exceptional condition. Those survivors became the backbone of one of the most dramatic value stories in modern American coinage. Auction rooms tell that story better than words alone ever could. When certified high-grade 1979 wide-rim dollars appear at auction, the atmosphere changes. Bidding accelerates. Prices leap far beyond expectations for a modern coin. In top mint state grades, these coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes more, depending on strike sharpness, surface quality, and eye appeal. Collectors understand that modern rarities are unforgiving. Condition is everything. One microscopic flaw can mean the difference between a nice collectible and a record-breaking specimen. But here is where the legend grows larger than confirmed sales. In the highest tiers of numismatics, value is not limited to what has already happened. It is shaped by what could happen if the impossible appears. Experts have long speculated about the existence of a perfect, untouched, museum-quality 1979 wide-rim dollar, combined with extraordinary mint characteristics, flawless preservation, and undeniable provenance. Such a coin would not simply break records. It would redefine the ceiling for modern U.S. coinage. That is why this coin is spoken of in terms of million-making potential. Not because every 1979 dollar is valuable, most are not. But because the right coin, in the right condition, with the right story, becomes something far more than metal. It becomes a financial artifact. A once-in-a-generation discovery. A coin that would dominate headlines, auctions, and collecting history. Identifying this treasure requires patience and precision. The coin must be dated 1979 and carry the P Mint mark above the shoulder of Susan B. Anthony. The rim must be thick, bold, and close to the date, not spaced far away as on the common version. The strike must be strong. The surfaces must be clean. Any serious contender must be professionally authenticated and graded, because at this level, trust is currency. Without certification, claims hold no weight. What makes this story so powerful is that the 1979 dollar lived among the people. It passed through hands. It sat in cash registers. It rested in coin jars. Some were saved by accident. Some were overlooked. And the truth fuels the dream that somewhere, in a collection or vault, a coin still waits to shock the world. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar is proof that rarity is not always ancient. It reminds us that value can be born quietly, without fanfare, hidden behind familiarity. It teaches that greatness often disguises itself as ordinary. And it stands as a symbol of how knowledge, patience, and timing can turn a simple dollar into a financial miracle. So the next time someone dismisses a modern coin as worthless, remember this story. Remember the wide rim. Remember the auctions. Remember the collectors who understand that history is still being written. And remember this final figure, not as a promise, but as a legend whispered at the very top of the collecting world, $31 million. Hold a single dollar in your hand and most people feel nothing. No excitement, no curiosity, just metal, weight, and habit. But history has a strange way of hiding miracles inside ordinary objects. Today's story is about one such miracle, the 1979 United States $1 coin with the D Mint mark. A coin born in modern times, passed through millions of hands, ignored by almost everyone, yet secretly capable of transforming a collector's life forever. This is not spare change. This is not pocket money. This is the kind of coin that turns knowledge into power and patience into wealth. When the Susan B. Anthony dollar was introduced in 1979, it was meant to modernize American currency. The Denver Mint struck millions of these coins, each carrying the small but important D Mint mark. Most of them are common. Most of them are worth exactly $1. And that is precisely why the truly rare examples are so dangerous to underestimate. Because hidden among ordinary Denver minted dollars are coins that defy expectations, coins that live at the edge of numismatic legend. The value of the 1979 dollar does not come from mass production. It comes from exceptions. It comes from error, variation, perfection, and survival. The Denver Mint is known for producing strong strikes, but in 1979, subtle anomalies occurred. Some coins were struck with extraordinary sharpness. Some exhibit dramatic mint errors. Some survived untouched, uncirculated, flawless, frozen in time while their siblings wore down in circulation. Among collectors, the most sought-after 1979 dollars are those with major mint errors. Off-center strikes where the design appears shifted. Double-struck coins showing ghost-like doubling. Broad strikes without a proper rim. Dramatic die cracks slicing through the design like lightning frozen in metal. And in the most extreme cases, transitional errors and planchette anomalies that should never have left the mint. These coins are accidents, and accidents are where fortunes are born. Auction history reveals just how powerful these exceptions can be. When a certified high-grade 1979 dollar with a dramatic mint error appears at auction, collectors take notice. Bidding jumps quickly. Prices escalate far beyond face value, far beyond expectations for a modern coin. Some error examples have sold for thousands, others for tens of thousands. And each time a record is set, the ceiling rises higher. But beyond documented sales lies something even more powerful: possibility. In elite numismatics, value is not only measured by past results. It is shaped by potential discovery. Experts agree that if an unprecedented 1979 dollar were to surface, a flawless, museum-quality coin combined with a never-before-seen error or striking anomaly, the collecting world would stop and stare. That coin would not be compared to other Susan B. Anthony dollars. It would stand alone. This is why the 1979 dollar is often described as a sleeper coin. It circulated, it blended in, it fooled everyone, and yet, it carries the raw ingredients of a numismatic explosion. A modern coin with massive production, yes, but also with rare survivors and catastrophic errors that rewrite valuation rules. That is how million-making coins are born. Not from abundance, but from rarity hiding inside abundance. Identifying a truly valuable 1979 dollar requires discipline. The coin must clearly show the D mint mark. The surfaces must be examined under magnification. Strike quality matters. Luster matters. Error type matters. And above all, certification matters. At this level, no serious collector trusts raw coins. Professional grading and authentication are non-negotiable. The slab is the passport into the world of serious money. What makes this story irresistible is the human element. These coins were spent, saved, forgotten, collected by accident. Some sit in jars, some in drawers, some in collections whose owners have no idea what they hold. And that truth keeps the dream alive. Because history proves again and again that life-changing discoveries often come from the most ordinary places. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar represents a powerful lesson. Value is not always old. Rarity is not always obvious. And treasure does not always announce itself. Sometimes it waits quietly, disguised as normal, until the right eyes recognize its worth. So the next time someone dismisses a modern coin as meaningless, remember this story. Remember the Denver Mint. Remember the errors. Remember the auctions. Remember the collectors who understand that legends are still being written. And remember the number whispered at the very edge of possibility, not as a guarantee, but as a symbol of ultimate numismatic destiny: $21 million. Picture a single dollar resting quietly on a table. It carries no shine of gold, no weight of history carved into ancient metal, no obvious sign of greatness. To most people, it is nothing more than spare change. But to those who truly understand the hidden language of coins, that same dollar can represent destiny. This is the story of the 1980 United States $1 coin with the P Mint mark, a modern coin dismissed by millions, yet studied, hunted, and whispered about by serious collectors. Because under the right circumstances, this dollar does not buy coffee. It buys futures. It is not small money. It is a life-changing treasure. The year 1980 arrived at a strange moment in American coinage. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was still young, still controversial, and still misunderstood. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the P Mint mark marked a historic shift, one of the first times AP appeared on U.S. coins meant for circulation. Millions were produced, and most were spent, ignored, or forgotten. And that is exactly how rarity is born. When everyone looks away, history quietly chooses its winners. The power of the 1980p dollar is not in quantity. It is in survival, precision, and exception. Among the vast production run exist coins that defy normal classification. Some were struck with extraordinary sharpness and flawless surfaces. Some escaped circulation entirely, sealed away in pristine condition. And a very rare few were created by the chaos of the minting process itself, coins carrying dramatic errors, unusual die states, or striking anomalies that should never have left the mint floor. Collectors know that Philadelphia minted coins from this era are especially important. The mint was experimenting, adjusting, refining. Dies aged, pressures shifted, collars wore, and in those moments of imperfection, numismatic legends were born. Off-center strikes that pull the design toward the edge, broad strikes lacking a proper rim, double strikes that create ghostly shadows of the original image, die cracks that slice through the portrait like frozen lightning, planchette errors that tell stories of mechanical failure and human oversight. These are not flaws, they are signatures of rarity. Auction results have already proven the market's hunger. High-grade 1980p dollars, especially those certified at the very top of the mint state scale, have sold for astonishing amounts relative to their humble face value. Error examples ignite bidding wars, sometimes leaping from hundreds into thousands in moments. Each strong sale sends a signal to the collecting world that modern coins are no longer sleeping. They are awakening, but the true legend of the 1980p dollar lives beyond recorded sales. It lives in possibility. Numismatic history teaches us that markets change when something never seen before appears. Experts quietly speculate about what would happen if a uniquely perfect 1980p dollar surfaced, a coin preserved in absolute perfection, combined with an extraordinary, undocumented mint error or transitional striking characteristic. Such a coin would not be compared to other Susan B. Anthony dollars. It would stand alone. It would redefine modern American coinage value. This is why collectors speak of million-making power. Not because every 1980p dollar is valuable, most are not. But because the right coin, with the right story, in the right condition, becomes something more than currency. It becomes an artifact, a headline, a financial earthquake. Identifying a truly valuable 1980p dollar requires patience and discipline. The date must be clear. The P mint mark must be genuine and properly positioned. Strike quality must be razor sharp. Luster must be original. Surfaces must be clean and undisturbed. For error coins, the anomaly must be authentic, bold, and verifiable. And at this level, professional grading and authentication are essential. Without certification, claims are only noise. With certification, a coin earns its voice. What makes this story so powerful is the human element. These coins circulated. They sat in registers. They lived in drawers and jars. Some were saved accidentally. Some were overlooked deliberately. And that reality keeps the dream alive, because history proves again and again that life-changing discoveries often begin in ordinary places. The 1980p Susan B. Anthony dollar stands as a symbol of hidden value. It reminds us that rarity is not always ancient, that greatness does not always announce itself, and that sometimes, the future is shaped by what others ignore. This coin is not about nostalgia. It is about awareness, about seeing what others do not, about understanding that even modern history holds secrets waiting to be revealed. So the next time someone laughs at a small dollar coin, remember this story. Remember the Philadelphia Mint. Remember the errors. Remember the auctions. Remember the collectors who know that legends are still being written. And remember the number spoken only at the edge of imagination, not as a promise, but as the ultimate symbol of numismatic destiny, $41 million.